Back in the 1960s, many manufacturers had devised and built large multi-cylinder machines of 750cc's. Suzuki at this time could only offer the tried and trusted T500 air-cooled two-stroke twin. Hence, talk became rife of something special coming out of the R&D department. Speculation was that a 750 was definitely on the cards. But what? 4-stroke, 2-stroke twin, triple or 4-cylinder? Rumour had it that Suzuki had built a triple air-cooled 750 using an extra cylinder on the existing T500. But this was not the case, although a feasibility study had been done on paper, but it would have been too wide across the crank. To keep down the width, the porting was twisted through approximately 22 degrees, retaining the rest of the dimensions from the T500. By using the 2 left-hand and 1 right-hand piston, drive to the gearbox was taken by helical gear between the centre and right-hand pistons. This became the basis for the engine. The first completed bikes for assessment by Suzuki and the worldwide importers were known as the T750R, with subtle differences to what we now know today as the first customer release bikes, the GT750J. There was no exhaust coupler system and the handlebars were rubber mounted. Unfortunately, none of these bikes are known to exist today, as only a dozen were built. November 1971 saw the first real GT750Js being shipped around the world for showing to the general public, and for a lucky few for sale in some countries. The first real showing in the UK was at the January Bike Show at the Royal Horticultural Halls in London. The paint scheme was much the same as the T750R, but in a deep metallic mauve. When production came fully online, the bike had lost its rubber-mounted handlebars, gained the exhaust coupler system, and as the hacks from various road test magazines reported, lost some of its original power, only having a true top speed of around 105 to 110 miles per hour, not the 120 to 125 as seen in Japan were being tested. The GT750 has gained many affectionate names over the years, not all of them repeatable. Most countries she's known as the plain old Buffalo. In the UK it was the Boiler, and more notably the Kettle. The first production bikes, GT750J, came with the 4 leading shoe front brakes, but for the subsequent models they used a dual disc setup. However, a disc brake conversion was offered as an option, and for some markets the importers insisted on having them as standard. A number of cosmetic changes were made throughout the model range, from J, K, L, M, A and B, and an update in porting from the M model. The J and K had the Amel style carburettors, and the rest the CV types. Inconsistencies depending on which market they were aimed at meant service notes in manuals were constantly updated. Some dealers received updates, others did not. Service work carried out was open to interpretation and individual preference. Over the years the Kettle has gained a strong following around the world, not least some great success in racing, predominantly via the TR range made famous by the late Barry Sheen's legendary accident in the Daytona 200 practice session in 1975. It has also been used by the Three-Wheeler Boys in open sidecar racing. Many magazines did road tests on the bikes, most appearing not too favourable, quoting quick C's centre cylinders. John Story had worked on them for 35 years and has not found this to be so. The only time they have problems is through bad maintenance, owner intervention, or the unfortunate who forgot to fill up the oil tank. Handling problems. At the time of the GT750, everyone was still learning about how to make a two-wheeler handle. You can improve somewhat with modern tyres and uprated rear suspension units, but it's best to ride them with the respect they demand for their age. Enjoy the footage and ride on. On Fragrant Cloud!